curious, because you have committed already.
Well,
See my point?
I think there's a right to cure issue here as well. That could be a right to cure issue. We need to I would be, my first gut reaction was to give them a 60-day header to see how we do within the.
Yeah, so it would be 60 days, and then if there's no cure, then we would go with the contract with the 30-day additional, and notice of intent to terminate with 30 days to do your thing.
But my hope is that Waste Management would like to
Yes.
continue to do business with the village and would willingly improve their operations within the village.
does the contract not say that both parties have the right with a 180-day notice to cancel the agreement for any
Yes.
reason?
Yes, but that 180 days is from the date that you deliver an intent to terminate the contract, so
Right.
that would need to be a decision of the board at this point, to deliver that letter of intent to terminate, to just kick that off.
But couldn't it really be from us at any point, like, let's say in 45 days, they mess up again, we could do it at that point?
Unless you agree otherwise, unless there's mutual agreement here otherwise, to have a specific timeline like you're presenting
If
here.
we filed an intent to terminate, and we allowed him to provide this 60-day commitment letter, and we see a drastic improvement, we could cancel that intent.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily have to follow through, so the notice provision is the minimum required. So you wouldn't have to follow through with the actual termination. Obviously, in that situation, you would follow up with a letter saying, hey, the village is not gonna terminate your contract, we followed up, like, courtesy, but, that's an option, or we can frame it up as an amendment to, the contract here, instead of that 30-day provision in the termination, we could provide for a 60-day, situation there. There's a couple different options.
So what you're saying is if we did the 180 days now, we could hold that back?
You could, yes.
I would wanna use all 180 days to line up the next provider.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of our issue here, is if you were to terminate the contract, like, within that 180 days, you have to be working to get someone else in here, or with the 30 days, or with the 60 days, if there was some issue, we would need to be working towards getting someone else in here.
If we made that commitment letter, let's just say it's 60 days. Theoretically, 60 days. And at the end of that 60 days, we wouldn't show that we're doing the job the way it needs to be done. You could then file that 30-day notice, but we would still have to, I'm gonna set that, put it that way, we would still be servicing the village until you were able to have the time to go RFP or whatever that might be, to gain someone else. We would still be servicing them during that time until that time, right?
So that's not contemplated in the contract. It does say that if there was an issue that it required more than 30 days to correct it on your end, that we would need to give you more than 30 days. But continuity of service and switching providers is not addressed specifically here. That's kind of why as a village, it's a business decision as to which notice to give, right? If the contract was rejected, feasibly, what could we get a provider in here for?
I would say that either way you would go, we would not leave the village hanging like that. But if it were to be determined, we don't want it to go there, obviously, we don't want that, we want to prove that we are who we say we are. If we were to go to that, we wouldn't just, all right, we're not, we don't operate that way. So we would honor the contract until, we would amend the contract,
Yeah.
basically saying, we'll continue servicing the village until that part of that is.
So if we do this 60-day thing, are there gonna be like metrics in there, like, we gotta have under this many misses and the office has to fix this with their customer service, or how's that gonna work? It all has to be in writing. Otherwise, you know, somebody could say, well, we met the obligation, and somebody else would say, well, no, you didn't.
I
think
would
it has to
expect
be
that
s-
the phone calls to our village staff to dramatically reduce.
That would be one of the key factors. I mean, I understand that the elderly community in our village has a hard time navigating the technology side of it.
But if there was no problem, they wouldn't have to call.
That would be true.
The only,
So
the,
that's a,
the only thing I could see in, you know, with a good service calling on is, people seem to get confused on the holiday weeks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, when does my garbage go out? I mean, that's a basic, we can handle that, but,
that's a question, not a complaint.
but a lot of, I'm saying like, you're still going to that, but,
So, do you guys allow repeat callers? Is there a lot of people that are like, it's just an address and call it 5, 6 times?
Yes,
Okay,
but no.
okay.
I mean, yes, but no. I don't know how else to explain
Different
that.
weeks that they call, or do they call you in the same week?
The people that call repeatedly have the same problem over and over and over and over again, and I put that, I think, on that,
Mhm.
the sheet that I gave.
She provided me
Is that
this.
information that we can share with Waste Management?
This is, just a map
Yeah,
of the
there are
houses that
problem
were
stops,
missed in June.
like
Yeah,
consistent
oh,
ones.
I mean, Mr.
That
President,
would
if I may, I do send him the emails,
Okay.
the repeated, they missed again, and then you'll know my frustration, I'll be like, this isn't, I'm done, right? So, my other thought is,
Well, not only is it frustrating for you, it's frustrating for the residents.
right,
Yeah.
so when they call, I wanna know, like, one, is it gonna be the same people, is it again, the same, is it the trash, is it the waste, or the yard waste, is it whatever? With that being said, it does put a lot of burden on us, because now we're keeping track of our own list, not this list, because, like I said, they won't call you, they won't put that information, so you don't have it. I mean, we can certainly send our list that Jason is putting together to you. You will see that it probably matches up pretty closely to the emails that we send you, or Kyle sends, because they're missed. So, yeah, I guess for our staff perspective, I would like to see those phone calls drastically reduced, and the bulk pickup debacle cleared up, because it's, do we call? Are they supposed to put a ticket in to let you know so you have the big enough truck? Because that's what we were told. Do they put their 2 items out and just expect the truck to be big enough? What do we do with that? Because those are a lot of the calls too, this bulk pickup. Like, I think they're kind of getting the hang of it, that they get 2 items, but then it's, what day it was, is it a toilet? Will you pick the toilet up, or will you pick up the bed?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what 2 items, is your truck big enough, are they able to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that is always and consistently a big issue, is the bulk pickup.
Is bulk pickup always and forever will be the last pickup of the month? Cause, you know, I had emailed you about, I think it was you, about a bulk pickup, and then I realized, oh shit, it was
Yeah.
3 weeks that I had put my stuff out instead of, I thought it was like a week later.
Yeah.
I was pissed at myself, not at you
Yeah.
guys.
No, that was me, that was.
Yeah.
That was you.
And I figured it out myself.
Yeah.
But is it always only once a month?
I think it's twice a month. Yeah, I think it's twice, I don't have the calendar right in front of me, but I believe it's twice a month.
Okay.
And I know it, on the online one, it actually, you go on there, just put your bulk, yep, I got a toilet, I got a couch.
Yeah.
It'll give you the 2 dates,
Yeah, I
which
think
one
it
do you
gave
wanna
me,
put it on.
and I missed it. That was what happened that time.
One thing we find too with bulk pickup is them going online and requesting an appointment with you guys. We'll find that a lot of residents don't have their address in there pre-filled because they're duplexes, multi-families, all that. So I don't know how we can fix that, because that seems to be a big issue on the bulk pickup too. And then a lot of residents will just kind of give up their call. So if they don't do it through your online portal, they'll call, and then they're kind of getting the same answer. They're like, I don't see your address on file.
And that's one of the items that I talked about is, the address list we were given, I think it was from the county assessor, he gave us the GIS information. That was the address list that we used to input into our system, obviously for the we'll look it up, and that address isn't even in our system, and we could go back and look at the list, what wasn't on the list either. So we add them, as soon as we hear about them, we add them to the system, so they're in there. And I believe I sent over, I think it was Kyle or Jason, one of the two, the actual address list that we received. Asking if review this, let us know which ones we're missing, so we can get them in there right away, so that those things don't happen. But as they do happen, we do add them immediately, so.
Are you
after that,
contacting the
they're fixed.
customers
I'm sorry.
afterwards? I said, are you contacting the customers to let them know that it's been addressed and they'll be getting their pickup?
Like the ball pickup? Like
Whichever
in
one you
his
think you have to
situation, I'm
choose.
sorry.
Did they give them their information? Did we give them their information
know,
if they're
we have to.
contacting?
Like, if they did, we would
Okay.
end up letting them know, we'd call them back if we had that information in, and let them know, hey, your address was in the system, we got it in now. We had your bulk scheduled for whichever bulk day it would be.
But again, it takes a little bit of time to get it into the system, and then again, request, what I've been doing is this part-time solution, is just telling them to get the main address, so side by side, just give them the name and address, they'll see it out front, that seems to work until you guys get it in the system. I was just wondering if there's anything else that we can give them, so if they call in, they can just say, no, I am a resident at this, while I'm on the phone with you.
And that's
Make
the best case.
the call center knew that problem with us, and it made it easier.
The biggest issue we have here in the village is the communication, right? Knowing, like, if you guys have to reschedule something, I think the issue is, some of these things have been like missed leaf day, right, is that a thing? Missed
Yard pickup.
yard
pickup.
pickup day.
Yeah.
And if you missed it, or if it was rescheduled, or you had a truck problem, it's not being effectively communicated to our residents. And, you know, and is it being communicated to the office staff, that we can send it out and put it out on social media? The other issues though are the basic tent poles of collecting garbage. I mean, we have, as what our DPW director has stated, it's the failure to collect residential garbage on scheduled collection days. I get it, trucks break down, people call in. Failure to collect residential recycling on the scheduled days, right? Repeated missed collections, failure to collect yard waste and bulk items on scheduled dates. Delayed collections extending beyond the service scheduled dates. Failure to promptly remedy verified missed collections. Refuse and recyclable materials left within the public right of way. Failure to adequately communicate service interruptions, that's the key, right? Those are huge. Why isn't my garbage being picked up? And when the village can't articulate that.
I can give you a copy of what he's reading.
Yeah, how do we know, you know, how do we know and how do they know? And then the multiple missed collections for the village owned cans downtown. I mean, Kyle, our DPW guy, I think they're really good, they handle a lot of this, and they go to talk to these people as well. But at some point, Waste Management has to step in and be that customer, do that customer service end, because it's not our contract, I mean, it's your contract. We contract with you to take care of those problems for us. And that's what we're asking you to do. I mean, and that's what the staff really, onesie twosies, yeah, I mean, but the amount of calls they get and the amount of things that they have to deal with versus, you know, what they are dealing with is not what they wanna live. And we need our partner in garbage collection to pick up the ball and take care of it and do the job.
So, Adam, I think it was a great idea to have those metrics put in place for the 60 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to all be in writing.
What does staff think? How, can you denote how many calls you guys get? Is there like a way to just make a log, or?
We have a lot.
You have a log?
We
Yeah.
do have a log. In all fairness though, I can't say that we put everybody 100% on the list, right? Because we're dealing with day-to-day stuff as well. We try to get most of the people on there. I mean, you're welcome to share that log at the moment, but if you're gonna start this 60 days, I would say I want a log starting tomorrow. What are we getting now? And then look at it. obviously it would take him a few days to implement his changes and what he needs to direct his crew and people, so we may have a bulk amount of calls at the beginning, and I would hopefully like to see that drop to a trickle. I mean, you can't expect to never get a call, but I think the volume that we have now, we would it would be a noticeable difference if it dropped.
Well, talking with the administrator, just in his office, part of the problem too is the unresponsiveness to the call. I mean, Connor, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys over there. But when you call there, you're telling me that there's an unresponsiveness sometimes.
I'm not usually the one who calls, it's usually Kyle.
Okay, so
Says
Kyle is
yours
not getting response,
Correct.
getting the type of response we expect.
Correct.
So, when there's a formal complaint made about a non-collection, and I know Kyle's not here, but I'm sure you hear it during your briefings with him in the morning, is, what is the typical process there? How does that work? He calls, I can't get a hold of anybody, or is it, no, they're not doing what they're, tell me what that is.
Well, typically you can get a hold of somebody, but they don't follow up with what they say they're gonna do,
Okay,
is what I've collected from Kyle.
okay,
Sometimes they do.
okay.
But
So it's
not-
spotty, it's not consistent enough.
Correct. Yeah,
So who is Kyle's contact person? Is it
typically it'll go to
whoever
Tim.
answers the phone, or?
Typically it'll go to Tim or.
Tim or Andrew.
Tim.
Okay, so.
Tim's
that's
the
his
district
contact.
manager, Andrew's the operations manager.
Since last time you were here, didn't you give everyone your business card? Maybe they had a question, concerns, reach out to you.
Yeah.
That's how I did it.
Yeah,
I used it.
And we also sent a list, for the staff and board members of each one of the main contacts of this management. So, myself, Tim is the district manager, Andrew is the operations manager, as well as, Keith Olson is the senior district manager that covers basically all southeastern Wisconsin. And then we also have we call it operations specialist. She's in the office all the time too, and she's there just in case you can't get hold of Tim or Andrew, because they might be in a truck with a driver and then in a meeting at the time. Jenny's also there.
And you will notice though, when I email you or Jason or Kyle, like, I include all of those people.
Yep.
On the email, so they all get it.
So if Kyle were to call one of these folks and he can't get what he needs out of them, and he calls you.
Yep.
What happens then?
If I'm able to take the call, talk to him, he lets me know, hey, try to get a hold of Tim or Andrew. I got this resident at 123 Main Street, this trash, whatever it might be, can you guys come back to get it? I usually take that, I look in the system first, make sure we have their address in there, we do, all right, great, I mark it, I send it to them, include our dispatch team on it as well, and say, hey, this resident got trash, we need to go back, recover it, from there.
Do you do a follow-up at all?
With Tim and Andrew and them,
Make sure
I usually always put that in, please let me know when this is done, when it's confirmed, et cetera. That's if I get the call.
Do follow up with Kyle?
Do I follow up with Kyle?
Do they follow up with Kyle?
They should be, if they are not, that's one of the notes I'm taking down, we have to make sure that we are doing that. So even if they do take the call, we'll go, yeah, all right, we'll handle it. We should still be calling them back and letting them know, whether it's Kyle, Connor, Stephanie, hey, just wanna let you know we took care of that one on 123 Main Street. We should be doing that.
Do you think maybe it would help if you did like a follow-up email at the end of the week of, there's just, let's say, 6 residents that called and either Kyle called you and everything was taken care of and you're just doing a follow-up email, so let everyone know, that way the communication's there.
Absolutely, that'd be something we could definitely do.
And this letter is something that we can publish on our website and social.
If that's something you want to do.
I would think. that
Mhm.
the residents should know,
Yeah.
addressing the
working towards-
situation and
Towards an improved consistency in service and,
Including these numbers.
so what we're looking for is a decrease in complaints. And improved consistency in pickup performance. And that's basically it.
This is 60 days, the next board meeting in 60 days would be September 14th.
We can table it to a date certain and take this item back up and have the discussion of, okay, what's been done? Is termination on the table, are we keeping the contract?
And then give you time to look over the contract as well, instead of just putting you in the spot here tonight and say, figure this out.
I did look at our termination
Okay.
sections, but I did not have our little report from DPW, so I will be looking over that.
Yeah, I guess I'll move to allow for a 60-day, eval with a metric, of basically, what are we gonna set up for that metric though? I mean, what are we gonna use,
So,
like
what
a
I
reduction
just-
in complaints or?
Well, what I jotted down is, and this is just a thought, that starting this next week, I would say I would love to say 100% pickup, but 85 to 90% picked up. And then the big thing I feel is the calls. So I just kind of like that our staff has no more than 17 calls the week of June 20th. The week of the 27th, no more than 14 calls. I just kind of broke it down. And at that point, you know, if we can have, again, 95 to 97% pickup, that was my thought.
And I mean, I
And by next month, they should have maybe 2 to 4 calls a week, not bitching and complaining.
and I know it's hard, because you and I have talked in open meeting about, we have not had service
Yeah.
issues with waste management, and I don't know if many of the board members here have. But that doesn't negate the fact that it's happening.
Right.
And we don't have those same issues. I mean, I don't do like yard waste, I have no idea even how to do that.
Me
I just
neither.
don't.
I do both.
And I don't do bulk pickup
I do
either,
that.
but as far as my general service for pickup and recycling, I'm like, yeah, okay.
But you do at your business, you said? You said
Well,
that wasn't
it's the
picked up.
village cans.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the village, it's the public refuse cans in front of, like, the ones that
Yeah.
are all over town. But I did see somebody picking one up the other day, so I digress. So the metric being reduction in complaints.
yeah, so I went, starting the week of the 20th, 17, 14, 11, 9, 6, and then 2 to 4 within a month, in a week. That's what I was thinking. Cause she said they get about 20 to 30 calls a week, so that's where I started with next week at 17.
And I mean, measure the calls, I mean, not obviously legitimate
Complaints.
complaints, not just inquiries or, you
No.
know, we're not, I hope.
My only concern with setting the specific number of calls is
You can
there's
say
always gonna
about.
be complainers,
Yeah.
right?
Really,
So,
never noticed that.
I mean, maybe it should be just a reduction in calls based on, cause you guys have your call logs from what's come in, right, in the past. Maybe it's comparing 2 call logs of, okay, for this period of time, for like the prior 2 months, what did our calls look like versus the 2 months after we had this discussion and there was a letter of intent.
I just wanted to caution that I don't want, it's hard because, like I said, especially with elections coming in, we got utility bills and things like that, so it's like, yes, we have every intention to write down these people's names, but when you're busy and on the fly, you don't always, be like, oh yeah, I had a garbage call, but I can't remember who it was, and I don't remember the address, and you don't put it on the list, so, that's my only concern.
May I offer a potential solution?
I have one too.
You can use, a shared Excel sheet that you can just pop up. Everybody can
We
have
do have
access
that.
to. You do have that?
We do, but like I said, we're kind of like
I understand.
on the fly, and we don't always, we try our best.
Something tells me you're gonna know one way or the other, whether it's better or not.
I would think so.
And I 60-day, hey, get better.
Do you have something to say?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, you're also gonna be putting up, you're gonna make this very public, so, I would expect, increased scrutiny
Yeah, I
over the
know.
service and, probably a public campaign to get the service canceled, which is gonna be a lot of calls that we're taking. I wouldn't tie this to metrics, I would tie this to what brought this here in the first place, which is
Service,
the,
consistency of
the
service.
weight of the complaints that you're receiving, the weight of the complaints that we're receiving in the office, and, what you're seeing, you know, in written correspondence, on social media, all of that. I would say in 60 days, you can assess yourselves whether that's improved or, you know, not improved, and, you know, you're gonna have
Can
the
you guys-
flexibility in the.
Can you guys send us a report, like, you haven't been doing your Friday thing in a while?
I told you I wasn't doing it.
I know, I said I liked it though.
I'll go back to it. No more
But if you
office,
guys
no more
could-
office hours Friday.
If you guys could send us the board, a report and let us know on a weekly basis how it's going, so that we
Yeah.
have an idea.
I do agree with Connor, you know, when this
Yeah,
goes
he
out,
is right.
it's gonna,
People are gonna keep
people
on.
are becoming.
Right.
that-
Do you guys have anyone that like monitors anyone's
Public
Facebook?
relations,
Yeah,
we have a public affairs person.
yeah. Are they on our page?
Pages.
I would assume.
Pages.
Yeah, I would assume there, every once in a while I get a text message.
Okay, yeah, cause
Not
it's,
particularly here, but
Right, well, let's table this then, and let's come back in 60 days.
I don't think we're tabling it,
No.
because we're asking for a letter of commitment.
Right.
Oh, so you want a
yes.
letter of commit, alright, so you're right, alright, so let's agree to a 60-day. Where we're at for improvements, what you guys proved to us that your consistency is getting better, your customer service is getting better. So I would move to allow for the 60-day, assessment. And then,
And have Rebecca review the contract in the meantime.
And waste management provide a letter of
a letter of
intent.
intent. I make that motion.
I will second.
Alright, we have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Alright, now, non-voting, alright,
wait, I got one more question just for him, that's something to do with that stuff. Our website through you, is there any way for us to connect that particular one, so no one has to look for it, to our website? Because when I go on here, it just says wm.com.
Good idea.
Okay,
We will do that.
okay,
alright.
not just a link, I want it to say Union Grove, I want the Union Grove page.
Right.
Not for them to have to look for it.
Like,
yeah,
I put a
we can
direct link
send the
to-
link to the staff.
The
And they can
direct
just
link,
I know
rename
that.
it, Village Union Grove Trash and Recycling Pickup.
yes,
Put
that
it on
link.
the website, and then
Bingo.
everybody can let that.
Right.
yeah,
So, because like I couldn't find it, I don't want other people to have that problem.
Absolutely.
Okay,
With that being said, the ayes have it.
sorry,
That's okay, not a big deal.
I thought it was another.
No, I know, you got it, you're good, I appreciate the question.
Thank you for coming in, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time,
Okay.
again, apologies for the things that have transpired, we are working our tails off. I promise you, we're gonna put our best foot forward on this. Before I do leave tonight, I did have a question, because I was thinking of this on the way down when I was driving. Maybe you can verify it, you guys can't, because you have the calls inside. Is there still a confusion as to which week is the yard waste week? Would it be helpful if we separated that calendar from the main calendar? So that it was, like, here's the yard waste calendar, here's the other calendar, so that they knew exactly, and what,
It could be, those boxes are all stacked
Yeah,
on
even
each
though
other
they're
and they
color-coded,
can't see it.
and that's what I was thinking on the way down. If we just separate that, maybe that might help some of those calls, because I know we do have some where, you know, oh, you missed my yard waste last week, and oh,
And I
it's
would
this week.
say if you're separating it, could they be like,
Bigger,
just top and bottom, like?
Yeah.
And then they, instead of like a separate page, they might see, oh, this is yard waste, this is trash recycling.
I can make it so it's 3 different ones, you just have trash, recycling, yard waste, bulk item.
The
It
bulk
can't hurt.
seems fine on where it
Yeah.
is on the yard.
Anything's
I think it's
gonna
the
be
yard
better,
waste.
right?
Just the yard waste, we'll separate that.
We also
Make it
do
a
vet
little
those
easier.
calls, I mean, those calls we vet just fine.
Yeah.
You're, where are you?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's normally, when we call about yard waste, you guys still send, well, hold on, wrong week, or we'll be back, but it's about 50/50, so I thought if that helps, it might be something we can do, so, just a question I thought I'd ask.
Send us like an
Good idea.
example.
Alright,
I'll get it tomorrow.
thank you.
Thank you again,
Thank you.
everyone. Stay cool over the next 2 days, I heard it's supposed to be 105 tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to discussion and possible action on fire station appraisal report from Bellbridge Appraisal.
I received a email from, Michelle, the fire department, that the fire committee had recommended that the village board, review and discuss the appraisal of the fire station, and decide, what it wants to do, moving forward. Might be something we wanna go into closed session for at some point, before we get too deep into the weeds, now that I'm thinking of it. But if there's anything, preliminary thoughts on it, I guess I can kind of hit the high point, is that the assessment came in, or the appraisal came in at 300,000. Mainly due to, our zoning, authority over it. I did tell the appraiser that it likely is not gonna be approved as a car repair, facility. I don't think that's in the best economic, interest of the village. So I think the appraisal was done, with under the assumption that, the building would be very hard to rehab into anything useful.
In New York, we're gonna copy those otherwise.
And then we'll be going over it tonight.
Very good.
Yeah, maybe defer to the village attorney on how much we should discuss in the session, but.
I think what you've done with your report here is fine, I think anything further than that should likely be enclosed, of course with the option to make actions up closed.
Well, for the information, I think it gives everybody a really good peek into what the value of that building is and what we can expect to get out of it in a joint sale.
It's good for the public too, so.
I will also say both villages are listed on the deed of the property, so we do both have joint ownership of it. I know that was a question at the committee meeting, so I did clarify that.
All right, thank you for the report.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna move on to, reports of village officers. Village attorney.
Besides the work that I've gotten here tonight, the only other thing I really have on my plate that's like super active right now is the shoreline wetland zoning ordinance that we've talked about. So that is in the works, I'm working with SURPAC and DNR to get that over the finish line, to make sure that it's compliant with everything it needs to be. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have that for you guys sometime in August here, early September, depending on when we get things to the publisher for class 2. That's all.
Do you have anything about the drainage district? Or we should be looking
I
at?
cannot touch that with a 10-foot pole. I do not have any answers for you. I'm not sure who you guys have the litigation there, but that would be, something they can provide a report on.
All right, very good. Village administrator.
I'll be discussing the drainage district, ruling with the council retained for the issue last time, next week. In other news, the LC United Painting is gonna be out on July 20th to, get started on the Wellesley Water Tower rehab project. So what you'll see, is a sort of tarp go over the tower, while they do their painting and sandblasting of the structure. That's so that, you know, the paint and debris doesn't get spread around, include the neighborhood. They are not gonna take more than 50 days, could very well be less than that though. So that's about the time period you should, expect to see it up there and people working up there, as well as the tarp that's going over it. I'll save the high school water main for last. I've been working with Ellers on, an investment management, strategy. One thing is our fund balances have been increasing, that we need to consider is how to get the best, return on, the village's cash balances each year. While of course keeping, you know, certain, you know, enough liquid cash that can pay our operating expenses throughout the year. But that's gonna help us budget, that's gonna help us know how much we're actually getting, in investments each year. That's something we've under budgeted, historically in the recent history. It's one of the reasons that you're seeing, you know, your fund balance increase from year to year, so. That should help give us a lot clearer picture, of our budget moving forward. The 67th Drive, project is ongoing. We're going out to bid, later this month, actually. We're wrapping up the right-of-way acquisition pieces, currently. We did some of that tonight. We have a bid opening scheduled for August 4th, at 2 p.m. here. So we'll know, exactly what our project costs are gonna be, or pretty close to what our project costs are gonna be at that time. We're hoping to have construction starting September 8th. Like we mentioned before, this project needs to be wrapped up by June 30th with our final payment made, in order to get our, local road improvement plan program funding, back in return. Got a notice from the Humane Society that they wanna redo our contract. They're actually canceling the one we have in place to renew it. I haven't had a deep dive into it right now, but, what they're, proposing is an annual cost of $5,168 with an annual, 3% increase, in subsequent years, so. We'll have legal review that, we'll look at the cost comparison, if necessary, we'll look at, any alternatives that need to be considered. High school water main extension, it was brought to my attention tonight that the village board never actually approved this project. You tabled it when the contract was recommended to you.